Hello and good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Edmund here. So I hope everyone had a very good weekend and well rested, and we are back on the markets today. So I myself had a very enjoyable weekend. Went for a nature hike with some family and friends, and yeah, it's nice to get in touch with nature every now and then. So for today's economic calendar, it's pretty light. We are going to be having a lot of minor data only. Starting from 2 p.m., we will be having the German Producer Price Index numbers, and at 4 p.m., we will be having the Eurozone's current account data. The German Bundesbank monthly report will be announced later today. The time has not been fixed. Usually, it will come in at about 3 to 4 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. Towards the evening, we will be having the Bank of England's Monetary Policy Committee, two members, Mr. Andy Haldane and also Ms. Silvana Tenreiro, speaking at 11:10 p.m. Okay, so over the last market day, which was on last Friday, which is 17th of July, we saw the US dollar being largely weak. Okay, here we go. So last Friday, the US dollar was still trading within this bearish downtrend line over here, and also supported at the bottom from the horizontal support line. Okay, so last Friday it was again testing this resistance. Okay, just gonna H4. Okay, just delete this. Okay, so that downtrend line was drawn over the H4 charts, and we have been following that downtrend line for the last 5 market days, and every time it came towards that resistance. Okay, both on last Friday, and also previously on the 14th of July. Okay, and another moment on the 10th of July. Okay, so that 4-hourly downtrend line has been consistent, and markets or the US dollar has always been responding towards that bearish downtrend line, and also squeezing between the horizontal support line. Okay, so last Friday, as we were analyzing the markets, we were also looking for it to test this resistance, and true enough, after testing the resistance, it started to move back down. Okay, so as early as 9 plus 5, which is 1400 hours at 2 p.m., the US dollar weakens. Okay, it weakens all the way until the US trading session. Okay, so that was a bit about the sentiment of the US dollar as of last Friday, and as of this morning, as we are speaking, the latest sentiment was the US dollar is a bit bullish. Okay, moving up from 95.86 levels at about 300 hours, which is the silver time. So if you're in Malaysia or Singapore, you need to add 5 hours to this. 3 plus 5 would be 8 a.m. this morning. Just about 4 hours ago, the US dollar moved back up. Okay, so currently it's again finding some resistance here. It will only decide whether it can break through this bearish trend line or go back down to this support later on in the afternoon at about 2 to 4 p.m. and towards the evening 7 to 9 p.m. Okay, so that is latest sentiment and movements for the US dollar. And we had some minor data announced on Friday. Basically, it was the consumer sentiment numbers, which came in below market expectations, and also some housing data, US housing data numbers, which came in mixed. Okay, so the first one was last Friday at 8:30 p.m. the building permits and housing starts. Building permits came in just a tad below market expectations of 1.3 million, and housing starts was slightly better at 1.19 million. A concerning factor, of course, would be the 10 p.m. Consumer sentiment data, where it showed that consumer sentiment dropped to a level of 73.2 from a market expectation of 79.0. Okay, so that was last Friday's data, and even before data was announced, we already saw that the US dollar was largely bearish throughout the whole day on Friday. Okay, So yeah, those was the two data coming out last Friday. And again for today, in terms of economic events wise, it is pretty light, all minor data. However, we still expect markets to move between 2 to 4 p.m. and towards the US trading session 7 to 9 p.m. Okay, so let us move on to the technical charts analysis section.